Michelle with Treecat here. I'm getting myself pumped up. Why? Because I need more energy. It is February 1st. Can you believe it? I know. Where did the month go? Where did the month of January go? Where does the time go? It's been a busy month, and I'm hoping that it's been a busy month for all of you too. Maybe you had some really good sales. My sales been doing really well, considering that I haven't been like listing a lot. I've had some really good sales, but it's time consuming to ship. It's time consuming. You know, all the things are time consuming. And I find myself thinking, you have no time. You have no time. Are you like me and you feeling like you have no time? Because I don't know where the time goes, but thank goodness we've got Treecat, right? Thank goodness we've got our delist, relist. Thank goodness we've got our Poshmark sharing. And if you are not using these items, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what's going on here with you. Because here's the thing. These are huge, huge, huge time savers. So let's just get right into it, okay? And by the way, I am now standing at a standing desk. I've decided to make some changes and start like exercising more. That's why I have the weights. Also, I want to get stronger because I went to the bins last weekend with a friend. We went to 2 different bins. And if you don't know what the bins are, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you should know. Bins are great. And we went to 2 different bins last weekend. And I was like digging through the bins and I was like, I'm like really not very strong anymore because most of my stuff, like I do pallets, right? So I don't go to the bins that often, but when I do, boy, I feel it in my arms. So I got this new standing desk. I actually got a walking pad that looks like this. There's the walking pad. So I'm like coming to you from a standing desk with a walking pad. And I've got my weights here so that when I have a spare minute, I can like literally just like start getting myself back into shape because it is no joke when you're at the bins. I love the bins though. It's so much fun and it's a lot less pressure because I've diversified in addition to doing pallets. I go to the bins as well. So I have a couple different ways of sourcing and I highly recommend that you diversify your sourcing because when I used to do only bins shopping, it was really, you just never know the kind of luck that you're going to have. You never know what's going to happen when you're a bins shopper. And you never know if you're going to find good stuff. Sometimes you'll find great stuff. And another time you're just like, I just wasted 2 hours of my time, right? So diversify, people. Tip of the day, reseller tip of the day. Tip 1, get yourself a standing desk and a walking pad and some hand weights. And when you have some spare time, like I'm getting my steps in, which is awesome. So we got to find ways in our schedule to meet our goals, right? And I'm not trying to gain 20 pounds this year like I did last year. So yeah. So tip of the day, get yourself a standing treadmill or just a walking pad. Get yourself a standing desk and get yourself some hand weights. And just, throughout the day, if you're doing your listings, if you're doing stuff at your desk, just like mine came with a remote control. So I can just walk and get my steps in when I'm doing my desk work. So yeah, so that's my tip of the day. Let's see, what was my other tip? Yeah, get a standing desk for sure. My other tip, diversify the way you procure. So, maybe you go to the bins and maybe you need to have another way of doing your procurement. It's really important to diversify because some days, like I said, some days you'll have great luck at the bins, some days you won't, and you don't want to waste your time. So now that, I also do pallets and stuff like that, when I go to the bins, there's not as much pressure. So take that pressure off yourself and start doing a little bit more diversification, whether it's, the where you go, maybe you go to like 5 different bins. We only have really 2 that I can go to in my area that are worth going to. But yeah, diversify. Okay. The second thing that I wanted to talk about, is I think we need to talk about that is, the eBay seller update, January seller update. You've probably seen it. I think the biggest takeaways from the eBay January seller update are that they're they're increasing final value fees. They're calling it a final value fee adjustment, which just really means that they're charging you more at the end of the day. And it's going to apply to most categories, and it's starting on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Do we love that, or do we love that? And the increases are going to range up to a maximum of 0.35%. So there you go. That was the biggest takeaway for me. They talked about their tools, that they've enhanced some tools. Oh, this is kind of a big deal, actually. If you sell used clothing, and I have some items that are used clothing, they're going to add new item condition options for pre-loved clothing. So you can probably, I think they said February 4th or February 5th. That's just in a few days. And most likely what they'll do is they'll require you, I mean, they always kind of like have like a wizard where they'll require you to make changes on your, where you go and you see if you have any people that have liked, and then you can make offers. That, I think it's your eBay selling area, and you can see that they want you to add, they're constantly telling you, oh, can you add more item specifics? It's probably going to be like that. I don't know specifically, but we will find out on February 4th. So keep your eyes open. But my guess is that they will have you do some changes. And when you make those changes on eBay, just do a sync on Treecat. I'll show you how to do that. So what you'll do is you'll make the changes that you want, and then you'll tell Treecat, I'm just going to do a quick sync just for my eBay stuff. And then you just say sync inventory, and it'll do a quick sync to just the eBay stuff that you've changed. So yeah, that'll be something that you'll want to make sure that you do. So what other things did they talk about? AI enhancement, background enhancement tools. Yeah, we've kind of known about that. And I do like their background removal thing, where it gives the white background. I'm not as keen personally on the AI backgrounds, because we were told many years ago that in order for it to get your listings to get indexed on Google, they needed a plain white background. And so until I hear otherwise, that if I find out, like if I made changes, started using their AI background, and it wasn't getting indexed on Google, I'd be pretty upset. So I'd like to get some more information. And if anybody knows whether or not that's going to affect your listings getting indexed on Google, I'd like to hear about it. But my intuition tells me that most likely you still want to have a plain white background. So I'm going to continue to use their background removal tool, because I do all my listings starting on eBay, and primarily because I can do it from my phone, and also that it has a really nice slick background removal. So and I hear that they're coming out with they're doing AI category implementation, so their listing experience is going to be a lot easier, which is great for me as a person that lists on eBay. I'm not part of that beta program, but I am looking forward to trying it. And then once I have all my listings, I just shoot them right into Treecat. Well, actually, Treecat automatically pulls them in for me. So it's constantly looking for new changes on your, it's constantly syncing in new stuff. You don't like, so for the thing I just told you about, for when you make your changes, you're doing a forced sync, but you don't necessarily even have to do that if you don't want to, because like about every 30 minutes, it's going to be doing syncs. It's going to be checking what new things are there, that I can pull in. What new on eBay? What new things, like listings, are there that I can pull in from Poshmark? What new things am I pulling in from? So it's smart. It's smart, and it will every 30 minutes go and do, and it's called an automation, right? It automatically does it. So anyways, getting back to the eBay seller update, they also talked about their expanded product search tool, and then expanded ship cover insurance. So those are the main things. I think for me, the two biggest takeaways are the final value fee adjustment and the new condition options for pre-loved clothing. I think they're going to have, it's going to be kind of like Mercari, where you say, is it in good condition? Is it in great condition? Is it in excellent? I think it's going to be something like that, but you are going to have to spend some time probably making those adjustments on eBay, and make sure you sync them into Treecat when you're done, so that everything's in sync. And then when one item sells, the other two will be taken down. I mean, it'll be in sync if you don't, pull it, do a manual sync, it'll get to a point where it's in sync anyways. But if you're ever doing like delist relists, then you're going to want to make sure that all your changes that you make on eBay are synced into Treecat. And it's just a matter of, do you want to do it immediately, or do you want to like let the system do it in 30 minutes? Up to you. Okay, so what else are we talking about? I think I was going to do some Q&A. Oh, I wanted to talk with you about, time-saving stuff. Let's get back to the time-saving stuff, because we all need to get some time-saving tips, right? We all need time-saving things that will help us in our life. And I really think that this has saved me a lot of time. So when we're talking about the Poshmark sharing, which you get for free, and it's unlimited, by the way, when you cross-list with Treecat. So if you're not using our Poshmark sharing, what are you thinking? It's free, it's unlimited. And if your items are already cross-listed or matched in Treecat, it's no cost to you when an item sells. So what you have to do to set them up is you go to your settings tab, which is right here on the upper right-hand corner. There's these 3 blue tabs, right? And settings is on the very right, and you click Poshmark closet sharing. Click on Poshmark closet sharing. And to set it up, all you have to do is click the quick schedule all day follower share, click that, and then click quick schedule nightly party share. And then once they're on there, like they are here, you're going to click the play button. I've already clicked the play button. So now it shows that I can pause it, which I don't want to do. But there will be a play button here. You'll click it. And once you click that play button, both of those automations will start working for you, and they will start working for you in perpetuity. So you will never have to click another button again in terms of your Poshmark sharing. That alone has saved me a ton of time. Not having to share my Poshmark closet or pay a virtual assistant to share it for me has saved me a ton of time and money. I was actually paying kind of a lot of money for a virtual assistant for many years. And so I'm super grateful to have Poshmark sharing so that I don't have to pay a virtual assistant to share my Poshmark closet anymore. And really, it was just set it and forget it. I set it up and it started sharing. So just to break it down, the quick schedule all day follower share, what that does is it just shares your Poshmark closet to your followers all day from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. And then the second button, the button that is orange, the quick schedule nightly party share, that starts at 6 p.m. This is all Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, it would be 9 p.m., I guess. But the quick schedule nightly party share, which is the orange button, what that does is it's just going to share your items to the party. So not to your followers, but to everybody who's in that party, right? Which is a lot of people, because the nightly party share, you can share all your items. It's not specific to any categories or any particular, gender, or any particular type of thing. It's not like, oh, women's swimwear. No, it's not, pet items. It's not homewares. It's like everything. You can share everything at the nightly party. And it's from, what is it, from 6? I think it's actually from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So this shares it during those hours. So I may have misspoke by saying it was at 6 p.m. It may be at 7 p.m. I don't even know anymore, because it's just set up for me. So I don't have to, at 7 p.m., I don't have to be like, oh, I'm sharing. Because I would actually do some sharing on my own. Even though I had a virtual assistant sharing for me, I would actually go in there and just kind of share some items and just make sure that she was doing it right. So anyways, and you can make sure that the bot is working. Just go to your Poshmark and you can just refresh and you'll see that there's new items at the top. And so what the Poshmark sharing and the delist relist, what they do is they bring your items to the top of search. These are algorithm hacks. And it's really important to get your items to the top of search, because with eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, prioritize, their algorithm prioritizes last in, first out. So all the items at the top are the ones that are going to get the most eyeballs. So you know, it really does work to get more eyeballs. And when you get more eyeballs, you get more likes on your items. When you get more likes on your items, you can make offers. And we all know that that's the way to generate sales, is by making these offers. You give them either a shipping discount, or you give them a little bit of a percentage off, like 5% or like 10% or even 20 or 30%. It's up to you on how much you want to, you know, you can price things knowing, I started pricing things knowing that I was going to be making, 10% offers, 20% offers, things like that. So that's one of the cool time-saving hacks that we have on Treecat. The other one is delist relist. And that is pretty amazing too, because that is going to get your items to the top of search as well. It kind of does like what we call like a refresh of your items. So I'm going to go to my inventory to find this, right? So you go to your inventory tab, and what you do is what I did was I have a custom SKU that I put in on eBay. I put my custom SKU in there, term. You can search by anything. You can search by, women. You can search by bra. You can search by black, women black bra. I could, any number of search terms. But what I just chose to do today was I chose to put terms that are on my custom SKU. So anything that I listed 10/20/2024, so last fall, that hasn't sold, I'm going to delist relist it, right? So anything that was listed originally on 10/20/24, there's a total of 28 items. Let me try that again. 10/20/2024. Okay, there's a total of 28 items. There's something wrong with my keyboard, but there we go. All right. And I've selected them all. Let's deselect them. You select them all. Okay, so it says that I've selected these 28 items. And then what I do is I go to my main actions here on the bottom, and I say, I want to delist relist these 28 items. Okay, and where am I going to delist relist them on? eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. So I tell Treecat, I'm going to delist relist these on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I want to do a one-time immediately delist relist, but then I also want to schedule it. And this is the cool part. Okay, this is the time-saving part, because you can schedule it to then, after it's done its delist relist today, you can schedule it for however many days in the future you want it to do the delist relist again. So I'm going to tell it, I want you to delist relist this again in 28 days. Okay, so you confirm your selection, and then you're gonna click the accept button, and it's gonna start that process. So I'm not gonna do that right now, but that's how you do a delist relist. And like I said, the reason that these things are important, the reason that you want to do these algorithm hacks is, one, because they're going to save you a ton of time. They are going to save you money if you're not, using a virtual assistant anymore, and they're going to save time, they're going to save money, and they're going to get more eyeballs on your listings because it gives you a refresh and it sends them to the top of search. And like I said, when they're at the top of search, you get more eyeballs. When you get more eyeballs, you get more likes. When you get more likes, you make them an offer, give them a little shipping discount, give them a little bit of, 10%, 20% off, and you're going to start closing those deals and getting more sales. So I feel like, as much as I've been stressing out and not having any time of the day and just feeling like I have no time, feeling like I have no time these days, these two things have really lessened my stress in regards to having no time. So I want to invite you to check these out because they're both free and unlimited when you're using Treecat. So as you know, like, the only thing you're really paying for with Treecat, right, is when you have your items matched together. You can do them through fast match, or you can, maybe you've never cross-listed before. If you've never cross-listed before, you start cross-listing, they become a match. When one sells, we take the other two from the other platforms down. If you've already been cross-listing and you have listings on eBay, you have listings on Mercari, you have listings on Poshmark, then in that case, you're going to match them together with our program called Fast Match right here. So if you go to inventory and you click on Fast Match, you will get, and so I've already done it, so it's going to be a little bit different than what you'll see, but you'll see that it gives you a bunch of, you click calculate, and it uses automation to recognize which items are a match, right? Which items that you've already listed on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari should be matched together. And once you click accept, that becomes a match. So you don't have to recross list all your items. You just use fast match. Okay. So yeah. So there you go. Some time-saving hacks for you. And you can breathe a little bit easier because you're using Treecat, you're saving money, you're saving time, and you're doing these algorithm hacks that are going to get your stuff to the top of search. It's a no-brainer. And especially for the price that we charge, it's all inclusive, right? So if you go to our website, you will see, you scroll down, you'll see what we charge, right? 1 to 30 sales, 50 cents to take it down. And that's using a promo code, so make sure you use a promo code. Okay. And 31 to 100 sales, 35 cents per takedown. And 100 to 140 sales, this is per month, it's 25 cents per takedown. If you sell more than 140 items per month, it is 1 penny. So the more you sell, the less you pay. So our system really is meant for scalability. Now, with that being said, I want to go back to answering some user questions because we get user questions all the time. People ask me all the time questions that I feel like I answer all the time, but I'm going to keep answering them because we always have new people. So let's talk about, I'm going to read some user questions here. I did not realize the agent has to be running all the time. Why do you require this? Well, any service like Treecat that does 24/7 sales detection, so it detects the sale and then it detects the sale on one and that takes it down from the other two. Any program or software service that does that is going to require that you have your computer running 24/7. So make sure that if you're using Treecat, your computer is running 24/7, and yet you have the power saving mode or the sleep mode turned off. If you don't know how to do that, just Google it. There's tons of videos on YouTube. There's tons of information on Google on how to disable like power saving mode, sleep mode, etc. And one other thing that you can do, which I really find helpful, is I had an old computer, or maybe my husband bought it for me and I didn't realize, and I thought it was just an old computer laying around, but he bought an old computer and he actually set up Treecat on that computer, and that's just sitting in the corner running the agent. And then on my production computer, I do my other stuff, or on my tablet or on my phone. I can access Treecat from anywhere if I'm traveling or whatever, because the agent is, it's there on the shelf. And so yeah, so there's another tip for you if you really want to have a robust 24/7 system, is you got to make sure that your computer is on 24/7. Turn off sleep mode and turn off power saving mode, and then Treecat will work much better for you. Okay, question number 2. What happens when I put my stores on vacation? Okay, so these selling platforms, eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, when you put your stores on like vacation mode, basically they make them invisible. So Treecat's not going to work while your selling platforms are on vacation. So if you're on vacation mode, so if you're trying to do syncs, if you're trying to do delist, relist stuff, it's not going to work when your stores are on vacation because your items are basically invisible. So just keep that in mind. Okay, keep that in mind that when your stores are on vacation, nothing on Treecat's going to work for you because your items are completely, it's as if they don't exist until you turn them back on. And so those were the two big questions. And I think I already talked about some of my reselling tips of the day. So I'm going to wrap it up because it's about time. It's about time to wrap things up. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Happy selling. Take some of my tips to mind, and good luck, everybody. I'm gonna start walking on my treadmill here, get some steps in. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.